Lucifero's sorta kind of like out. I'm very curious as to what the kind of like transference of like where he's kind of gonna be at strength wise. Is this one maybe like, oh, because only the second gate is open, he's only gonna be at 2/7 of his strength kind of thing, and then maybe that could work. Actually, I think that'd be really cool. Now that I'm just kind of mentioning that right now, is that he will get stronger as the gates open until they get to his final one. Like maybe this version of Lucifero is going to be formidable, but he's not going to be unbeatable. But instead, it's going to be more about him figuring out a way to stick around and continue as maybe like an overarching boss. Kind of like, think of just literally like a, you know, the villain in the chair where it's like looking out on the battlefield, kind of doing things. We could see him, whatever he's going to do, progress from there. Obviously, that's just speculation, but I feel like that'd be really cool. It actually would make it really balanced while still making this a very severe situation, because, you know, not only would it be like you have to prevent him from fully getting out, you have to prevent the, you know, more devils from showing up, you have to prevent more big devils like of the Supreme class from showing up, but also having to prevent the one that's already out getting more powerful as it goes. It would just be like an escalating level of danger and severity that I think would be really cool. But essentially, now that Morris is just done, I'm kind of not sure what Tabata had going on with Morris, because like Morris has been around for a long time, and I'm not going to go too much into it. I'm just kind of more confused, I think, than anything. Morris had been around in the lore for a long time, and then we finally got him. His hype kind of kept building up, and then Tabata kind of just finished him off pretty much in like the combined efforts of a chapter, because like the chapter after the Black Bull show up, it's like it's mostly a flashback. We just get back to him being unconscious. So I don't really know, because like here we have Lucifero draining the life force out of him to accelerate the gate. I'm kind of hoping Morris becomes like he gets turned into a devil, and he ends up kind of gaining more value of that, because like say he somehow got a devil heart, I think it would be better, because then at that point, outside of the arcane people or the saint stage people, he, you know, even getting beaten up, he wouldn't be dead, and he would have, you know, natural devil bonuses and stuff. But it would, I think it'd be cool to kind of like make him almost kind of like the right hand of Lucifero as his like intelligence guy, you know, the mad scientist. But we'll see. He might just be dead, which is a shame, because I did like Morris. I liked his design. I thought his magic was cool. But it just makes me wonder what Tabata decided, like where his kind of opinion on Morris's direction in the series, whatever he was going to do with them switch, or he always intended to be like this. Because it would be, I just think it's weird that he had him built up just to finish him off real quick. And it's nothing too crazy, because we never got Morris's flashback. We never got too much of him, so it's not as much of a crushing collapse of his character, because we only really had kind of like fan-made hype around him to a degree. There was a little bit of hype and burst around him. But Lucifero now is like partially coming out. It's like a pseudo version of him. He's combining the flesh of all the, I guess, is it flesh? Whatever the devils are made out of. Combining them all up and pretty much manifesting through this giant amalgamation of low to mid-rank devils. Like all this kind of just fodder that he's melding into one giant body. And again, it's cool looking, like it's neat, but I wish that the chapter didn't end like this, because like there's really not a whole lot outside of some speculation to really go off on this chapter, because for the most part it's like it shows up, Leona's finishes off the ancient demon. She reveals that, you know, the more she uses her hellfire incarnate, the hotter the fire ends up becoming. And it's like, that was cool, but it's like that should have been what we saw a long time ago. That was a really weird fight for Tabata to pull out for that long. It really just felt like it was to have Leona there, but not let her participate in any of the big battles at the moment. Because like we didn't even really get to see that much of it going on. We kind of just saw it progress, and then like big gaps off screen, and now it's like she beats it. She's not even really hurt. So it literally was just a Leona side distraction, which isn't terrible thing we found out about, you know, lore and whatnot about the Spade Kingdom and everything, and Merleona being saved for later. But it's fine with me. But it's outside of that, like the rest of the chapter, it's like characters kind of meeting back up, sort of. The reveal that he's like that Lucifero's squeezed life energy out of Morris to accelerate the rest of the second gate, and then merging all of these lower devils in order to come out. And then we get like him just kind of bursting out. I do like the visuals. I think this version of him is cool looking as a monster. Obviously, I don't expect this to be his true form. This is just like some weird abomination body that he's put together in order to get his consciousness out here and like have an actual body that he could feel. I imagine for him, it's kind of like having a an avatar, like the movie, not like the show, but kind of just the idea that you are putting your consciousness inside of something, and it's not your real body, but it feels like it for the time being. And then the rest of it is like the Black Bulls go up and you know, to go to thwart him. I can't say stop him because I don't think that's gonna happen. There was a cool part where it's like all the people on the ground are getting pushed by Lucifero's gravity magic, and it doesn't seem to be anything crazy. This is just his passive gravity magic, which I think is neat. I like the idea that Dante's level of presence of the Demon King could be Lucifero's passive. I think that'd be really cool. And maybe Lucifero's actual spell will be like 10 times bigger and make giant craters and stuff, and just be like a whole leap above what Dante and Morris could do. But the rest of it is like the Black Bulls like kind of working a combo to make the base even bigger, make this giant one, and then leads to like a big punch. And the reason why I don't like, I liked the chapter. I thought it was a good progression of events, and you know, the plot's moving forward. Stakes are getting obviously more heavy with like Lucifero out, and you know, there's a lot of questions I have now. And I think the questions really take up a lot more of what's going on, because like this chapter again, there really wasn't much, and then it ended with the Black Bulls base punching Lucifero. I don't think Lucifero's done. I think it'd be ridiculous, but it's done in a way that it's. I feel like it would have been cooler to see this happen, and then like maybe another page where Lucifero just completely obliterates the Black Bulls base, just to kind of demonstrate his power. Maybe not like, you know, not like wipe it from existence, kill everybody in it, but kind of just like completely destroy it so they have to get out of it. Like there's a lot there that could be done, and I'm hoping the next chapter will give us something, because the biggest question now is what's going to happen to the rest of the gates. What's going to happen to the ritual? Morris, I assume, is dead. Xenon is dead. Vonica is a vegetable. We don't know if Dante is getting back up either. Like, Dante's unconscious, but Vonica is, like, weirdly cursed unconscious with, like, that weird black layer over her. So, yeah, I didn't have a lot to say of this chapter. I enjoyed it. There was stuff that I just wanted to kind of, like, talk about from speculation and ideas coming around these events. But for the most part, I didn't have a lot to say. There really wasn't much that went on in this chapter. I think really the most interesting thing to me was just Lucifero's weird form. And not even counting like questions I had about like, well, what's going to happen to the rest? And now that the second gate is open, is the second gate Supreme Devil going to come out or what? Like, what's going to happen to this setup? I think it should be really cool. This is the last thing I'll say. Like, what if the second one came out, they're fighting him, and it looked like he was going to win, and then Lucifero realized if he absorbed that devil into this body, because of, you know, the level and quality of that one, he would end up getting a more humanoid form, and it would make him more stable, more kind of like set in sword. Because I do think that this big amalgamation of devils, Lucifero is much weaker than the full power one. I'm just guessing. And I feel like that's logical, or at least maybe like he doesn't have his full magic. Maybe he can't use his full like set of spells in this state. He just has his passive gravity and size and whatnot. But anyway, other than that, comment below, thumbs up the video, but for the like, subscribe and check out my other videos. It's been that. Appreciate everybody's already subscribed. Thank you all for listening. Bye.